Hey, it's Matt at Ruffhouse Studios, and welcome to Canna Basics. Today, we're going to be using terpenes to enhance common CBD and THC products such as lotions, soaps, and tinctures. This video is brought to you by Boom Bestie, 25 milligram CBD and Delta 8 shots that'll help you take flight. Find out more or purchase at boombestie.com. You may remember a couple episodes back we did an episode using terpenes, and I had so much fun, and I really love these terpenes from medical terpenes, so I figured I'd do another video showing how to use them to enhance certain types of THC or CBD products such as soaps or tinctures or lotions. So today we're going to go through a tutorial and show you how you can combine terps and distillates to create really awesome everyday products. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some distillate CBD. This is a water-soluble dry CBD distillate, and some of the terpenes. We're using the white runts from Sauce Terpenes. This is live resin terpenes, the best of the best. We're using some hemp soap base, and we're going to combine those together to make a nice aromatic CBD-infused soap. We're also going to need a double boiler and some soap molds if you desire. You could also use whatever kind of molds that you want, like Tupperware or something. And the first step is going to be to melt the soap. Like, this is a hemp-based soap. You could use other types of soap if you wanted to, but why not hemp, right? And it can take a while for this to melt. Maybe you could cut it into pieces. It's pretty hard, though. So I've just decided to take the time and let it melt. So I'm going to speed up the camera here in a second. And it took about 15-20 minutes to get fully melted down, but you do want it to get fully melted so that you're going to be able to dissolve the other ingredients into it and have them go through them evenly. So you don't want them like stuck on clunks or anything like that, or pieces that weren't melted will not have absorbed any. But in the meantime, I'm also going to weigh out a gram of the CBD distillate. I'm going to make about 4 bars of soap, so that'll be about 450 milligrams, 250 milligrams per bar. You could use more or less if you like, depending on how you want to do it. And I'm putting that inside of a glass jar, which I could use to melt it, but I decided to try a little different method, so I'll get to that in a minute. But there's 2 ways that you can do that. But go ahead and weigh out your gram or whatever amount of your distillate. And you do want a water-soluble distillate here. And this is a powdered form of it. But what I decided to do is just to drop it right into the heated, because we were just going to melt it anyway and then dump it in. But I found that you can just, with the soap, it gets plenty warm enough and the powder dissolves well enough that you can just stir it in. And I stirred it for 2 or 3 minutes just to make sure that I had it nice and incorporated in. And all the little pieces that you could see, they dissolved away in the first minute or so, but I just kept stirring. And then I took off the heat, or cut the heat off, and now so it'll start cooling off because I don't want to destroy my terpenes. And then once this cooled a little bit, I started adding, or I dumped in the little bottle of terpenes, which is also 1 gram of the terpene. It's pre-weighed. And so that'll give a really nice aroma. So, and it'll also make some interaction with the CBD distillate. Because of the entourage effect, the terpenes will have some effect, different or exacerbate or help the effects of the CBD along. So I'm going to transfer that into a pourable container so that I can put it in my molds. I only have a couple of molds, but if you don't have a mold, you can also just use Tupperware or some other kind of containers that you'll be able to peel off easily. Like thin containers work best. Okay, so after that, you just let them dry. It only took about 2 hours to, cool, dry. But once they cool off, it hardens up, and you can take it out of the molds, and you have some beautiful smelling. It's not overwhelming, but it has a really pleasant aroma, the soap does. Sort of piney, I guess it's sort of a little masculine or musky or something, but it was really pleasant. I think women would like it too, or you could pick a different variety of terpene to get the smell or flavor you want. Okay, next up we're going to do a lotion. I'm going to make this one a little stronger because I want it to be more intense as like a pain lotion. So I'm again using the CBD distillate, but because I'm not going to need to heat the lotion to mix in the terpenes other than just mix it in by hand without heat, I'm going to go ahead and just melt the CBD distillate on its own. So you see I've put it in that container that I mentioned before. And if you want to do the soap this way, you could also pre-melt it if you were more comfortable doing it in the soap that way as well. I just didn't really feel it was necessary. But you can see it took a little while again, but once it gets to the heat where it melts, it seems like it was about little over 150, 180, somewhere around that. It went pretty quick at that point and turned into a liquid. And once you get it warm enough, it'll be a pretty thin liquid. It'll be pretty viscous at first, but then it'll get a little thinner once you get it warm enough so it's real pourable. And you'll want it to be easily pourable so that when you do put it into the lotion, it'll all come out easier. You don't want it sticking and taking forever to slide down in there. But so all I did then there is I just poured in the terpenes, the whole little gram container, and then I poured in the 2 grams of melted CBD distillate. And then I'm just going to use a little silicone stick here and just whisk and mix and mix. And I got the speed sped up, but I did it for like 3 or 4 minutes of constantly whipping it in. And that was it there. It brought a real nice aroma again to it, very pleasant. And then it's got the CBD in there too. So this will make a really good pain cream or a pain lotion and moisturizer. So a really easy way to make a really nice product at home yourself. Okay, and the last one here is we're going to do a tincture. And this one is going to be a Delta 8 THC, but you could use Delta 9 THC, whatever kind of tincture that you'd want to make. And this one, it was a liquid, an oil-soluble liquid, so I've got that already heated in the double boiler. And I'm going to be using MCT oil to make this tincture. And then I'm going to be using 3 different types of the sauce terpenes. And again, these are all live resin terpenes from medical terpenes. All right, so what we're going to do to make this one is you need to pour out, I'm using 100 milliliters of the MCT oil, and I want to heat this up because I want it to be able to sort of infuse with the heated Delta 8 THC oil that is sitting there beside it now. So what I'm going to do is just to get both of these up to the temperature at which the one on the left there, the distillate, becomes really very liquidy, more liquefied. It's a little viscous right now. It's like a soft jelly or like a halfway melted jello or something like that. But it'll get really thin, and that'll be the temperature I want to get it to, both of them. So the oil's hot, and the distillate is hot. But I have not added in the terpenes yet. So what I want to do here is I'm just making like a base tincture that's unflavored, because I don't want to I have 3 different flavors. I don't want to mix the flavors into one container, but I have more liquid than one of the terpenes will fill or will make it flavor good. So what I'm going to do is to divide this, and I'm going to flavor 3 little bottles with a different type of terpene. So that'll be a really nice to have a variety of not only of the flavor and the aroma, but also the effects, because each of the terpene profiles will affect the THC distillate in a different way. Again, as we're talking about the entourage effect. So we're not only doing this just to get the aroma that we want or the flavor that we want, we're also doing this to be able to tailor the effects that we achieve from the products. And like I said, this is Delta 8 THC. You could use this with Delta 9 THC distillate and to the same effect. Okay, so what I've done is I've poured the terpene into the bigger tincture jar, one at a time, and then fill those up and then just mix them like that. And I found that way it was really nice to be able to get a variety of different tinctures and to be able to tell the effects and see how different they are from one another. So there we go. That's how to make the tincture, or to enhance your tinctures with the terpenes, and also to customize them. So there we have it. This is a really simple way to, if you really want to get down in the nitty-gritty and to make your own customized products at home, whether they be CBD products, THC products, for medical use or for recreational use, however you want to do it, just know that the power's in your hands to create different kind of concoctions, and it's really not that hard. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Follow me on Instagram at Ruffhouse Studios. Visit ruffhousestudios.com for hundreds of cannabis culture videos made just for you. This is Matt from Ruffhouse Studios. Thank you for watching.